What's T? It's Bia, your favorite cover girl, checking in live. And check me out on the Bootleg Kev Show.
Yo, it's the Bootleg Kev Show. Special guest in here. You know her. Her name is Bia.
Wow, that was a great intro. You know her.
Well,
She's
listen,
here.
Let me say this. I've been paying attention to your journey for a very long time, and congratulations, because I know that this success is well deserved. You've been grinding for a very long time. I've been seeing other chicks pop off, and you've been here the whole time, and like to finally see you kind of break through is dope to see.
Thank you so much. It's been like you said, a long ass journey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it, man. Like if I could go back, like I wouldn't have done anything different. Like,
yeah, because I feel like you were. Shout out to you too, because I remember, was it you were at RCA?
Yeah.
And then they didn't do shit with you. They didn't know what to do with you. And then the Russ record popped, and I think right when the Russ record popped, you became like a free agent.
I was actually a free agent a week before the Russ.
Right, like it all lined up. It's like the stars aligned for you.
It was God, bro. Like for real. Like I couldn't have wrote that no other way.
Yeah, because I remember, I'm cool with the your old A&R at RCA. Shout out, leave him a name. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I remember always thinking like, man, this girl B is so fire. Like, and then I would see other chicks who aren't as fire as you, like, catch some shit, and I'm like, man. And then that Russ record happened, and I remember someone telling him, I think Russ told me. Russ was like, yo, yeah, she's a free agent now. And I was like, oh shit. And then when I found out you were with Epic, I'm like, oh, you're in good hands now.
Yeah, I love it over there. Like we love Epic.
Yeah, and now you got this whole lot of money song that's going insane.
Crazy.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, how long have you been rapping?
So I've been rapping probably for I want to say 10 years. But really rapping for probably 7 years. About that.
And so for you originally did Pharrell kind of discover you? Like, kind of give us a background on you and Pharrell, like how, like back when you kind of, because I think that's how maybe some people might have first heard of you.
So actually, Family discovered me.
Shout out to Family.
Yeah,
Virginia.
He's the original, because nobody believed in me until he did, and then it was just him believing in me for a long time, and then then Pharrell, and it was it's really hard when you have to put all that pressure on just only two people, like, you know what I'm saying, to try to get the world to see what you see that early on is it's very hard to do, and I respect and love them forever for doing that for me, because when you stamp something that early, it's that's genuine.
That's big. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and then also Pharrell, outside of Khalees, Khalees is obviously a singer, but I mean, to have someone like that co-sign you as a female MC. And by the way, at the time, there's been this big female MC renaissance, which has been amazing to see. But at the time, I feel like it was kind of a weird time to be a female rapper, right? Because it was really just Nicki. Mm-hmm. And then it was Nicki.
Everybody.
I mean, it was there was people like Nitty Scott MC and Rhapsody and all these dope people making noise on the underground, but it was really I'm so happy that the ceiling has gotten broken through of there only being one female rapper at a time, because that shit's over with now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been over with, but just now you have the industry accepting it, because it's a different thing when there's always been girls rapping.
Of course.
And there's always been girls that were fired,
of course.
And they just didn't get their due because, the way it was set up. So it's now that I think as one girl starts to go, then another girl goes and another girl goes, it's making people open their eyes and making labels wake up and be like, hey, listen, festivals, everything, we have to start pouring into the girls a little bit more, because there's something going on here, and the people are picking it. You know what I'm saying? The people are the ones that
consumers are speaking through. Yeah, 100%. When you first kind of started to see this record, this Whole Lot of Money record go crazy on TikTok, what was what was the moment where you realized, oh, this is kind of a thing? Was it a certain person who did something to it? Because it seemed like it popped pretty quick.
We were in Puerto Rico shooting a video, and just on a little recording vacation, and then when we came back, is when it was going viral. Like the day we came back, and we loved Whole Lot of Money. Like my whole team, like everybody on my side, we always felt like that record was special. But we just like we're in the business of just letting the people pick what they love, and moving on to the next record. Like we don't get married to anything or think like, oh, if this doesn't work out, it's over. We're always in the game to just keep the momentum rolling. So we didn't expect it, but after it happened, we were so happy about it.
Because it was one that you guys already loved. Yeah,
it was the one that we were like, oh, we added this song last. Like, we didn't really fight for it because it wasn't a fight, but we were all like, should we think we should add this? Yeah, we have to. Like,
do you feel like back in, like when you first kind of started, like, was that an uphill battle to be like, man, I like, you got to kind of get a single to pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that was the worst.
Right, like it's like you're almost
and your man's, he's the king of that. Like,
oh yeah.
He's the king of like certain people. My old A&R, he was like the king of like, you need a hit single.
He just, hey, by the way, that similar things happen with other people on that label.
And that works for some people.
No, but I'm saying like that also stalled out a lot of dope artists on that same label.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's cancer to an artist. Like when you don't allow them to be productive and consistent, you kill their momentum. So it's like you kill everything that they have going on. So for some artists that works. They could come out the gate with one hit, then wait till they get the next one, then come out the gate with another hit.
Yeah, but that's not how you build fans.
That's not how you build
an identity.
Exactly.
Because if you're known as like the radio artist, then what happens when you don't have a radio record?
And that's just not the artist I wanted to be.
Right.
Like I have more depth. I felt like there was a lot of music that I had that wasn't going to see the light of day, that needed to see the light of day. And
were you able to take any of your stuff that you recorded over there with you?
I didn't, but that's okay because my boys will tell you, like, I record, bro. Like,
right.
I could cut records. Like, I'll go in there. I could have a day where I might leave with 3. I could have a day where I might leave with 6. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's ever been in the studio with me knows that, and they know it's.
There's more where that came from. I feel like sometimes like that'll happen where an artist will be like, damn, like I'm really married to these songs. But if you're really that motherfucker, like it's all good. You just make new ones. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And also with that mentality you were talking about, is it almost like. I hate to see when really dope motherfuckers like get put in situations where the label really make them question themselves or second guess how dope they are because the single ain't hit. Or you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like you're fire. Like I've been thinking you're fire for a long time. And did you ever have that situation where you kind of started to question yourself? Like, because I know, the old conventional way of this shit was, hey, we need a single to pop you off.
That was I felt like that was the whole beginning of my career, where I felt like I was constantly questioning myself and my own abilities because it wasn't working. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm constantly going back to the drawing board and trying to reinvent or come up with something else or mimic what they're telling me I should be like, you know what I'm saying? And I got to a place where I was like, I don't know what happened really, but I got charged up. Like, when you stop taking shit and you just like, you know what? I got so angry that it forced me to no longer seek no validation and just pour that into myself. Like,
yeah, like it's almost like you're here for a reason. It's because you're dope. Like, just do you.
And it took the fun out of it.
Yeah, because then it feels like a job. Because then you're not creating for the love or for yourself. You're creating for what you think people want to hear.
Exactly. And then when I got back to the basics, like when I got out of the label situation and I had nobody, just my friends, we were going to the studio every day, just recording as friends. Right. And I'm like, this is fun.
This is why we did it in the first place.
This is what this used to feel like. So now I just chase that. Like, as long as I'm having a good time and I'm around good people, good energy, and I protect that vibe. I don't work with everybody because you can't get that with everybody.
Who are artists that you enjoy working with where you get that vibe? Like or producers, or someone who you've gotten in with where you're like, this is great.
I love my homeboys, Little Rich and Aziz. They are like 2 of my best friends, and they're hilarious. Like, Aziz is hilarious. He has me cracking up the whole time. London J is really fire. T Romano, like
any other what about any other artists that you've gotten in with where it just felt organic? And
Russ is, he's a genius.
Yeah, I saw the video of you guys working on Best on Earth together, and it just felt
J Balvin.
J Balvin
is a vibe. Like he's so talented. And you know, like honestly, Pharrell is a vibe to be in the studio with, like to soak up. If like anyone that's ever been in the studio with Pharrell, to soak up from him and to see his process, like you'll learn some shit. Like so.
Yeah, Pharrell I think is you know, there's a few guys that I think every artist has like on their checklist to work with. It's like Dr. Dre, Pharrell.
Yeah, he's like that. Like I would just watch him. Like wow. Like
did you learn a lot that you applied to your own creative process from being around him so much?
Absolutely. Like if something don't feel right, I get off of it. Like you know, like I don't sit there and try to write a line for like 10 hours. Like if it doesn't feel right, it's like
move on.
Let's move on. Like let's move on and come back to it because it should be natural. It should feel good. It shouldn't feel like homework.
Hey, and then the you know, I think that moment with Best on Earth was big because again, you had just got out of your deal. That record went crazy. Obviously Russ he puts out I think you know a lot of artists should follow his blueprint in terms of just how he releases music and builds his fans, but like it was one of the records that he puts out a lot of songs. That record comes out, I think it was Rihanna posted it, right? And it was just off to the races. Like, what was that? First of all, at the time, I think Russ is another person who everything he does is very organic as far as the people he works with. Like, I never see Russ force any features. Like, he's like, yo, if I fuck with him, I fuck with him. Like, he was a fan of you to work with you.
Yes. Like, and I was a fan of him too. So, like, I love his music. So when he hit me, he was in LA. He's like, I'm in LA. Like, you know, I got some studio sessions, and he don't even do studio sessions like out at the studio. He record at home. At
home, yeah.
So he's like, you know, I'm out here. I don't really do this shit, but I got a session. If you got time, I'd like for you to pull up. I got some beats for you. So he had some beats originally and to play me. As I was listening to them, we heard the Best on Earth beat. And we were like, man, let's get on this right now. We just both felt it, cut it right away. He did a hook, I did the other half. He did a verse, I did the other half of the verse. So it was just real
organic.
Shit, like real.
That's fire. That's fire. We were talking earlier about shrooms. You said you've had some bad shroom experiences. Tell me about the craziest shroom experience you've had.
You just put me on the spot.
Listen, I don't know about we've all had bad.
Okay. No, because I don't want people to think I'm weird. You know what I'm saying? Like
what? Because you did shrooms?
No, because like my experience.
Oh yeah, tell me what happened, please.
Like I don't want them to be like, yo, she was tripping. So I saw a UFO. Like I was in Brickell. You know, I was looking out my hotel. I saw a UFO.
That's in Miami, right?
In Miami.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I saw a UFO. It was like 4 a.m. I'm laying with my boyfriend, and we're both looking at it. But we felt asleep, but we were awake. It was weird. It's like my mind was awake, but my eyes was closed. But I was fully awake. I wasn't asleep. But then I opened my eyes. So let me not say my eyes was closed. This is not making sense. Anywho, I was laying down. I was looking out the window, and I saw a UFO. I didn't want to say anything like, yo, you see that UFO? Because I didn't want him to think I was crazy.
Did he see the UFO as well?
Let me tell you. So the next day, I saw the UFO. I asked him, like, I told somebody in front of him, I'm like, oh, you know, I thought I saw a UFO yesterday. He said, I seen it too, but I didn't want to say anything because I thought I was tripping. And I wanted to see if you would bring it up today. And I was like, yes, I saw it. Like, I knew it was a UFO. It was doing this little weird shit. And then it just shot and disintegrated, like shot down and disintegrated. And what the fuck flies down? Everything flies up. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
yo, what's crazy is they just put a video out. Do you see that video that just came out that they confirmed is real? It's like a naval ship, and they have like their radar thing, and the government said it's like a real video.
I know, because I've been meeting people that have seen it.
It was in the sky.
No, not that, but UFOs.
Well, no, it was a UFO in the sky over the water, and then it dived down into the water and disappeared.
That's what I saw.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, bro. Like.
And Obama just came out 2 days ago and said that the shit is real. There's UFOs.
So I don't know exactly what it was, but I know that wasn't something that was normal. I've never seen it again. I only seen it on shrooms. So ever since, I've been wanting to, like, you know, I've just been wanting to see some shit like that again. But I feel like you can only crack those levels maybe on like the right amount of shrooms, you know?
Yeah, I think that there's no proven science, but I think something gets unlocked in your brain. Maybe you could see things a little bit different. You know, your third eye gets a little. I don't know, man. I mean,
you know how shit starts melting sometimes when you're on shrooms?
Oh, I know.
Like one time, my whole fridge was melting. Like I looked to the left, sliding down. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, the last time I did shrooms, I was in Texas, and me and Freddie Gibbs were at a bar, fucked up, and there was some chick dancing by herself, and her face was censored like she was on Cops.
What?
Her face was all scrambled and shit, like you know, like there was a censor, like her face was censored, and I was like, bro, you see this bitch? Like, am I tripping, or is her face fucking like she looks like she's on an episode of Cops?
And did he see it?
I don't think he saw. I was really fucked up. He wasn't as fucked. I was fucked. It was a rough night for me. That was one of the worst nights of my life as far as just freaking the fuck out. But yeah, that was, I think, you know, it's interesting because you do hear that a lot when people do it together. They usually see the same shit. We just had, Wiz was telling us that about his mom. He said him and his mom, they did shrooms together at Coachella and they saw all the same shit.
I would love to do shrooms with my mom. That's lit.
Hey, what up, man? Had to interrupt the Bootleg Kev Podcast to tell you about our good friends at Odd Socks. All right? Yo, shout out to them for sponsoring the podcast, but also for being such a fire company. And they just introduced their draws. That's right. Odd Socks now got your boxer briefs on deck. Some Tapatio joints. And then, of course, they got the best socks in the game. Look at these Stone Cold socks. Look at these two. I mean, look. I love Fruit Loops, but I love these Fruit Loops socks. These are fire. I'm taking those for myself. They got all the licenses, Breaking Bad, Mac Dre, ODB, WWE, Street Fighter, whatever you want, they got, including these draws. I love these draws. I got some on right now. So listen, tap in with Odd Socks. Go to oddsocksofficial.com. Use the keyword Bootleg Kev, and you will save 20% off at checkout. So oddsocksofficial.com, keyword Bootleg Kev, save 20% at checkout and thank me later. Would your mom do shrooms with you?
Probably not. She's like, oh no, I can't do that. She's like one of those.
What's your ethnicity?
She's Italian. My mom's Italian.
Okay. What about your dad?
My dad is Puerto Rican and a little bit of black and white. Well, a little bit black and Native American, but so he's like a mix. But
you came up in Boston, which is a dope city. It's an interesting city. I've been there a lot, so I know a lot about Boston. I love it. I love Little Italy there. It's the best Italian food I ever had, by the way. Shout out to Boston. But it's also like kind of perceived as like a racist city kind of.
It is.
Is it a racist city?
No, it's perceived that way.
It's perceived that way.
Yeah, it's like that in some places though.
Because, you know, it's kind of like, we just think of like drunk white Irish dudes out there.
They have those.
You know, you watch The Departed and shit, and you're like, is everyone like, whether there's townies and does everyone sound like Bill Burr when they talk?
No, they do. They sound, you know what I hate about people? They don't think that Boston has like any culture, that Massachusetts has like any blacks or Latinos. Like there's a lot of culture out there.
Of course.
It's just in its own areas. Like,
yeah, I mean, look, we were talking about earlier, I love Lawrence. Lawrence is a dope area.
Yeah, Lawrence is all Puerto Ricans and Dominicans.
Hey, Terminology's from Boston and he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I fuck with him.
Shout out to Term, one of the most underrated dudes.
He's a legend.
A legend for sure. And then there's like Benzino.
Let's give him his flowers while he's right here.
Let me tell you something about Terminology.
Let's give Static
Selected, 1982.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Guru.
Shout out to my guys. Good Dad Gang. Go buy a fucking Terminology
Let's give everybody
hat.
from Boston their flowers right now. Let's give the Celtics their flowers.
Are we gonna
Let's give the Bruins their flowers.
Are we going to give Benzino his
flowers? Let's give the
flowers?
Patriots and Cam Newton his flowers. Yes, because it's Koi's dad and that's my girl.
Okay. Shout out to Benzino.
Everybody from Boston gets their flowers.
Yeah, Coyle Ray. Shout out to Coyle Ray, man. She's doing her thing.
Yeah, that's my girl. I fuck with her.
Yeah, I love her energy.
Me too.
Very positive. She's just having fun. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Yeah, Boston is, you know, there's so many legendary.
A lot of cool people from Boston.
Hell yeah. Static Selected, one of the greatest hip hop producers of all time. And my brother, man. I love that guy, man. So it's crazy because it's such a boom bap hip hop city. Like, I feel like you come out of Boston, like, you got to have a real respect for like the art form. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't feel like a lot of artists who are your peers have that luxury of coming from that background. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a different generation. You know, Gen Z is a little different.
Yeah.
They don't really respect, like, the new generation is like, I don't give a fuck about them old heads. Like,
I'm already knowing. And their biggest influences are Chief Keef and Soulja Boy.
And I like Chief Keef and Soulja Boy.
Yeah, of course.
But I respect music. Like I grew up on like Nas and like, real rap. So
what's your okay, how about this? Besides Illmatic, what's your favorite Nas album?
Stillmatic.
Stillmatic. All right. I respect it. I respect it.
The Lost Tapes too.
Oh, Lost Tapes.
I could definitely run back the Lost Tapes and Papa was
the first
player.
No, the first Lost Tapes. I was okay. I was hoping you didn't say Lost Tapes 2 because part 2 of Lost Tapes that came out a couple years ago was disappointing.
No, I'm talking about
the first Lost Tapes.
Papa
is a
was
fucking
a player.
classic.
Lost Tapes, the original Lost Tapes, like that was
Do-rags,
like shit.
Purple.
Yeah, like I loved shit like
Blaze
that.
of 50. Blaze of 50 is one of the best storytelling songs ever. That's the one thing whenever I talk to Nas next, I want to
Who
ask.
raps like that anymore?
I want to ask Nas what girl was Blaze of 50 about? Because she fucked someone on the Broncos during their Super Bowl run, and she fucked you. So who was it? I think he said she used to fuck Terrell Davis from the Broncos on that song. Shout out to Nas, man.
I have to run that one back.
Who's your favorite? If you had to give me your top 5 all time, who is it?
Top 5? I hate that question.
Favorite, not greatest of all time, because there's two different questions. I got artists that are my favorite.
That's such a weird question.
Like every time I put Pusha T so high on my favorites of all time, and people get offended because I put him above like Lil Wayne. They're like, what? I be like, bro, it's my favorites.
Because like people that are my favorites as people, or people that
no,
are
I just
my
mean
favorites
like
as
your
music.
favorite as music, not as people.
I can't put that into 5.
Well, throw some names. You don't even gotta.
Maybe like 3.
Give me 3 names in no order.
No order. Rihanna. Aaliyah.
Okay, give me some rappers.
Oh, you want rap?
We talking hip hop here.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Shout out to Riri. We need some music from you. It's been too long. Anyway.
Okay. I just don't want to be cliche. You know what I'm saying?
Cliche.
Like, I really like. Okay. Like I'll put Jay-Z up there, cause like he's Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
No, he raps really good.
Of course.
I would put Drake up there, cause Drake's pen to me.
I finally met Drake 2 weeks ago, and he had the softest hands ever. I gave him a dap, and I was like, bruh, I just felt like I dapped up a pillow. Like, what kind of exfoliate?
He probably does hand masks.
He got to be doing something.
I gotta get some hand masks.
He's the only artist I've ever met that I felt had an actual like aura around him. Like I was like, oh,
that's because he raps so good.
Yeah,
his pen is stupid, bro.
Me and Freddie Gibbs met him at some bar over here, and we took shots with him, and I was like, yo, this guy's glowing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the skin routine.
Yeah,
but super nice guy. So Drake, Hove, give me one more name.
I just don't want like to get like ridiculed.
You won't. Come on, relax. Who gives a fuck? Fuck the internet.
Okay. Mia, no. I'm really, really thinking about this because like I'm going down. There's a couple people that
throw the couple names out there.
Okay, I love Travis. I love Future. I love Lil Babies. Rowdy Rich's music is crazy to me. Those are like some of my favorite artists. I listen to them all the time in the rap world.
Who would you say personally has influenced your style the most?
Me.
You. Okay. Hey.
Oh, and wait, time out. I forgot somebody really high on my list that I have to throw up there because he hasn't put out music in a really long time. But when he does, I'm waiting to hear it. Kendrick.
Oh,
hello.
yeah, Kendrick. Come on, man.
I forgot Kendrick, but don't ever let me forget Kendrick again.
Kendrick is, I always tell people he's top 5 all time. No debate.
Absolutely. No debate.
Because if you putting Biggie in your top 5 and Biggie only put out 2 albums, you got to put Kendrick in your shit because he's put out classic.
Good Kid, Mad City was one of the most incredibly constructed bodies of work I've ever heard in my entire life.
I don't disagree. Shout out to K.
The first time I heard Backseat Freestyle, I almost jumped out the window, like out the car, in a moving car on the highway.
Well, thank God you didn't.
Thank God I didn't, because I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, or you'd be here, you would just look fucked up. Like, what happened to Bia? Man, her face is all fucked up. She jumped out of a vehicle 50 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying?
It was Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, it was all Kendrick's
Backseat
fault.
Freestyle.
I know that festivals are coming up. Finally, shows are opening back up.
Thank God.
Thank God. I know you have some big shows that you're on coming up in this. It was calling it the summertime. What are some of the? Which ones are you looking forward to the most?
Looking forward to the most Rolling Loud.
Yeah, that's
Lollapalooza.
Yeah, both of those are crazy. The Rolling Loud lineup is almost unfair. It's like, who is not on that show?
It looks so fun.
It almost looks fake. It's such a good lineup.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy. I'm happy to be on it.
Shout out to
I'm gonna really fuck that show up.
I was gonna say, do you do like when you do a festival show that is for a big crowd that maybe not everyone's there just for you, as opposed to when you do a Bia show? Do you approach them differently, or is it the same vibe no matter what?
Nah, I go to fuck up every show every time I have a show. Like I'm taking people with me.
Do you crowd surf ever?
No, only because I wear like jewelry and I have titties and I don't want nobody to grab me.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough for chicks to crowd surf. I just saw some girl crowd surf who didn't get groped. Who was it? I don't know, but I was like, hey, good for those.
It depends. Like it depends what I'm wearing if I would crowd surf. Because if I had heels, I wouldn't crowd surf. If I had like,
some ice
too
on,
scandalous, I'm not crowd surfing.
Don't want a nip slip popping up.
Yeah, I don't want a nip slip.
That's fair. That's fair. Who is it that you're like? I know you got a lot of records in the chamber right now. Can you give us a little revelation of maybe some records you got with some other artists that you're excited for people to hear?
I got a song coming out with Gherbo, and the streets is asking me for it, sweetie.
Gherbo's a good dude.
Yeah, he's fire.
So you got the Gherbo record coming?
Yeah, it's stupid. Then I got some joints with my girl Iggy.
Oh, Iggy. Do you know Iggy's one of the nicest people I've ever met?
She's so nice.
I always, she gets a lot of criticism, and however you feel about her and her music. But when I met her, I was like, yo, you're like the sweetest girl. Like I feel like
she's genuine.
A lot of people, the media, hip hop in general, probably paints her in an unfair light. Because if you meet her, you'd be like, she's such a sweetheart.
Facts.
She's super nice.
That's how I felt.
So you and Iggy have multiple songs?
We have a couple.
Maybe a little joint project?
Oh no, not that. But
I don't know.
She got one off mine. I got one off hers, and they're both fire.
What about any more music with Russ?
No, but we are going to. We just spoke about that actually.
That'll be fire.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fire.
Yeah, I got some other stuff coming out, but I don't want to give all the tea away.
Hey, you said that you put Rihanna as your all time. How awesome was it to know that Rihanna heard your music? Like that, she was a fan of Best on. Like that's got to be a big fucking deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
She's like the goddess of this shit.
Doesn't get no better than Rihanna to me.
I always have arguments with people, and I love Beyonce. I love her, right? She's the greatest entertainer probably of our generation. But I love Rihanna's music so much more.
I love both.
I love both too. But that verses.
But like, why do people do that? Like, why do people be like, "Oh, I love this person"?
It's really just my wife I argue with about this.
Oh my god, I hate when people do that because it's like
I'm like Rihanna's harder than Beyonce, babe. No, you're fucking crazy. I'm like, babe.
You gotta just let them both do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hate when people not compare me, because I take comparisons like in a good way now, because I'd be like, "Oh, she's beautiful. That's a nice compliment, whatever." Right. I don't take it bad, but I feel like when it comes to the artistry. Like, you gotta let people. I like when people let me do what I do. Like, don't put me in that.
You know what I like nowadays is, I'm sure when you first came out, I mean, every female rapper was getting compared to Nicki, but now there's so many successful, thriving artists that the comparison has gone away. You don't hear that anymore.
I get it.
You get it? Who do you like? What do you?
Well, people just do it with like looks online, like on the internet. People always be like, "Oh, you look like."
Fuck the internet. You be on there reading comments and shit sometimes.
Sometimes.
Does it bother you?
When I'm bored, like no.
Because sometimes you get in them comments. Some comments is ruthless.
I hit block. Like if I really have a problem with something, I'll block it.
Yeah, I'm a habitual blocker.
My energy, like
me too.
You're not gonna come into my house and tell me you don't like my curtains.
Somebody
like
slided my comments with some bullshit. That block. I used to engage. I used to fight with Trumpers and shit in my comments. I'm like, fuck these. I'm just block. Block game is strong. How many people do you think you have blocked totally?
Oh, at least 1,000.
1,000?
Probably.
That's fair. I probably deserved it too.
Probably deserved it. Say something I don't like and you get blocked. Cause it's like, why would you come into my environment and disrespect my environment? That's like me saying, I don't think you should have this TV here. You should move that TV over there.
I'd be like, well, she's a female who probably has better
Bia,
interior design.
I'm gonna block you now. Get out of my studio.
I would say, Bia, you probably have better taste than me. So I might listen to you.
You better not let no girl come in here and try to move your TV.
Nah, my wife, she could move it wherever she wants.
Just your wife, but you know what I'm saying? That's it.
That's fair.
Happy wife, happy life.
100%. Yeah. Do you,
some guys should take notes.
They should. Yeah. You said you had a boyfriend?
Yeah, he's great.
He's taking those notes.
Yeah, he's taking notes.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, for any guys watching this, happy wife, happy life, you should just live by that shit. Or be single. Mm-hmm. One of the two. Pick your fucking path, but you can't have your cake and eat it too.
You can't.
Some women though, man, I've noticed that this generation, some women they're okay with some bullshit going down as long as it don't penetrate their knowledge. Like you'll see some lady say, look, I know if my man's doing his thing, as long as I don't find out about it, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's not me.
I mean, yeah, you're also Latina. My wife's Mexican. She's a crazy person. So
I think it's like in us. We're just not having it.
I mean, you shouldn't, by the way. I don't agree with that, state of mind. But you've noticed that's a thing now. Like chicks don't give a fuck anymore. Like, yeah, I don't care, whatever. I mean, how many times? Never. Anyway, we're not going to dive down that rabbit hole.
We're not going to do that.
Shout out to my wife and shout out to your boyfriend who understands the concept of happy wife, happy life. Yes. That's a nice watch. What kind of watch is that?
It's a little AP.
Just a little AP.
Shout out to Benny. I worked hard for that watch.
Did you? Do you get like a discount on jewelry because you're Bia? Do they say like, hey, we'll hook you up, but you got to tag us?
No way.
You got to find.
They do that? People do that? Who's the jewelers that do that?
I don't know. You could probably find one in Boston.
I gotta ask around.
You better get that Boston to get you one of them Boston jewelers.
I'll be like, what's tea? I want a discount or free.
Question. What's the best Boston movie of all time?
Oh my God.
We got The Town. We got The Departed.
I love The Town.
You got the one where Damon Wayans plays on the Jazz and the two Celtics fans kidnap him. There's some great ones. What's the other one with
Mystic Valley River.
Uncut Gems. Casey Affleck stars in the other one, Gone Baby. What is it, Gone Baby?
Gone Baby Gone.
Isn't that in Boston? There's a lot of good Boston movies.
The Town.
Love The Town.
Let's give the flowers to The Town right now.
Yeah, The Town's an amazing movie. Shout out to Ben Affleck, top 5 historical Boston figure of all time.
Yes, let's give some flowers to Ben Affleck.
Facts. Shout out
to J-Lo.
He's back. Hey man, anytime I love to see when a white boy catches him a beautiful woman that's outside of our I'll be like, Ben, you're back in there. You're making us look good, bruh. I see you, man. Anyway, look, Bia, thank you for pulling up. Yeah, the new song's out. You got lots of music out. Go support. You're gonna have a crazy rest of the year.
For certain. Thank you so much, Bootleg Kev. I love being here and I love my gifts. And I'm coming back, so.
It is done. Done deal. And then next time, get your dog situated so your dog could be in here. You know what I mean? We could have Mia in the interview. It'd be the Bia and Mia show.
She's chilling today. Look at her.
It's lit.